Hi there and welcome to Focus on Frisco. I'm Shannon Fallon. You're watching SCTV 10. Great to see everybody again after some big snows. It feels like winter. Here we are, but right around the corner is that springtime election. I feel like we're just moving through everything, Deborah.
We sure are. It's February already.
I know. Everybody that I've talked to has said, with big eyes, it's February already. It has gone by so fast, but it's been such a fun winter. And I hope that everybody's had a chance to get out. As you recognize this face, Deborah Walmuth, the town clerk. Very recognizable face, and whenever you come on, we know that we're talking about voting about something.
I have one thing I talk about.
It's a one-track mind. But it is always good to see you because as the super nerd that I am, I love election time. No matter what we're voting on, it's one of my favorite things because it's just exciting. It's such a cool right that we have. So, or privilege, I guess, is really in some cases. So let's talk a little bit about, this is going to be this is council members.
Yes. Three council
members.
That's
it. Okay.
That's all.
It is going to be a mail-in ballot, which is so modern and great. So let's talk a little bit about, do you want to start with the mail-in part or do you want to start with the candidacy part?
Let's start with candidates first because I need them.
Okay. So get out there and become a candidate.
Absolutely.
People can go and figure out what the expectation is to become a candidate, but it's really exciting. Dan, my husband, did it for a couple of years. He was on town council, and it's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It is. It's really neat. So who can become a candidate?
So to be a candidate in the town of Frisco, you have to be over 21. You have to be a registered voter. You have to live in incorporated Frisco. And please understand, there are a couple of neighborhoods in our town that aren't. So if you're not sure, give me a call or give the county clerk a call. We can let you know which neighborhoods are incorporated.
Okay.
And then we have one interesting little rule that is you can also not be a convicted felon.
Oh, that's a good rule.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It seems to kind of make sense.
So, if you meet those four standards, the next thing that you need to do is fill out a nomination petition.
Okay.
And you can get those from me.
Okay.
I will give you a candidate packet, which includes a petition. You have to have 25 registered voters, Frisco voters, sign your petition indicating that they would like you to be a candidate.
And if this is the first time that you're doing a petition, the best thing to do is get a lot more than 25.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
You want to be on the right path, and there are a lot of times where some of the signatures don't pan out.
Match. People don't know that they're not registered voters.
Exactly.
Or that they don't live in incorporated Frisco.
Exactly.
But also, one of the things that's really important is to do it sooner rather than later if you can, so that we have time to make sure that everything's correct. And then if you need to get some more votes, some more signatures.
So you guys do that. If
we
once
sure
it comes
do.
in, you can come back and say you've got 5 more days to get this done.
Yeah, absolutely. In the town of Frisco, actually in all of Summit County, the day that you can start circulating petitions is Monday, February 10th.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That sounds good.
And you have until Friday, February 28th. So you've got a few weeks to do it. Again, we encourage sooner rather than later.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So think about it. It's just, I just find it so interesting because I think it's so beneficial on so many levels, and to get as much of a, the word is slipping me, but as many different types of people,
diversity.
Thank you, on town council is just so important, so we can get those. Our community is so diverse, and why not let that be reflected?
Absolutely.
And 3 seats are up for re-election if they decide to themselves become candidates.
Yes. The 3 positions that will be open in this April's election are Kim Cancelosi's, Woody Van Gundy's, and Kent Willis's. They may choose to run again. We don't know yet.
And they have to go through the same process?
Yep, they have to do the exact same thing as everybody else.
Okay. Now, there was a candidate forum that occurred. Just bear in mind that if you didn't make it to that, you can always call over to Deborah, get the information, get the packet and all that kind of stuff, and get on your way.
Yeah.
And the dates that you can circulate the petition are Monday the 10th through Friday the 28th. All right. So plenty of time to get it done.
Absolutely.
All right. So once somebody makes that decision and goes in and decides to become a candidate, number one, is there any chance that they can withdraw? If at the day before the election, can they say, I'm out?
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
Gonna do it. Okay. But if you decide to go for it, what are the next steps? You just wait for the ballots to come in, and
so it's
not a big campaigning town.
Sometimes people can campaign. There's usually a candidate forum where the people who have chosen to run for office get an opportunity to answer some questions from the citizens.
Right.
We don't have a date on that yet.
Okay.
you know, sometimes people do some posters and yard signs, but
Right.
you know, it's a pretty quiet
Yeah.
little town.
It is.
Yeah.
So, all right. So for those of you who are going to get out there and vote on it,
Yes.
there are a couple things that need to happen before you can actually go and take your
Yes.
ballot and vote. Because once
Yes.
again, it is going to be a mail ballot this time.
Yes.
Okay.
So first and foremost, you must be registered to vote by Monday, March 3rd.
Okay.
Have to be registered.
Do you have to re-register ever to vote?
You know, no, you don't have to register, but it's possible that you are an inactive voter if you haven't voted in the last 2 years.
All right.
So there are some steps that could happen. If you have voted in the last 2 years and your mailing address is correct with the county clerk's office, you should receive a mail ballot.
Okay.
If you do not receive one, that does not mean that you are not able to vote. It just means that there's some pieces of information that are missing. Maybe you haven't voted the last 2 years. Maybe there's a wrong mailing address.
Okay.
Both of those things are very fixable. It just takes contacting us, filling out another form. We'll put a ballot in the mail to you, or you can pick it up from my office.
Okay. So you can do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
My question on mail ballots has always been this: how do you know who is filling it out? I mean, when you go in and physically...
So it's actually kind of interesting. You know, the state of Colorado's voter registration system captures signatures.
Really?
Yes. So when you mail back in your ballot, you have to sign an
Right.
envelope, and
they
we actually go through
scan
and
it.
scan it.
I had no idea. What a cool, again, modern thing to
Yeah.
do. Wow. Because I always thought about it. I mean, it's a neat way to do it, and it makes it, especially for our community, I think, it's such a great way to do it because we're traveling in April.
We've been doing it since 2008. We were the
know.
first community in the county, to do mail ballot
Yeah.
elections, and we see enormous turnout with it. In our November election, Frisco's voter turnout was 44%.
Get out.
No, it was
That's
great.
amazing.
It's great.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, our
Okay.
citizens, I think, really generally appreciate the process and the opportunity to do it that way.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, in order to vote, you do have to be 18 years of age. You have to be registered.
Yep.
And how can people register still?
You can come into my office. You can go into the DMV. You can go into any of the town halls or the county clerk's office. You know, there's opportunities to grab the forms online and then bring them into us or mail us. I always suggest just bringing it over so that you know that it's here.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was one of my favorite things to do. On the first day that I turned 18,
Yeah.
I went and registered to vote. I was
Yeah.
so excited.
And if you're not sure if
Yeah.
you're registered to vote, you can call me. You can call the
Okay.
county. You can also go to the state of Colorado's website.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities for checking your information.
And as I always say, just register. I
Yeah,
would say
register.
Just be registered. We always suggest that you actually participate, but at least you're registered.
You have the opportunity then.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Good. So let's go through dates and everything again.
Yeah.
If you want to become a candidate, you have to do so
By February 28th.
by February 28th. And that means that all of your signatures have to be in at that time as well. If you want to register to vote, you have to do it by
March 3rd.
Okay, March 3rd.
Yep.
Go
And
ahead.
ballots are coming out Monday, March 10th.
All right.
They'll be in the mail. So if you don't see it within a couple days of the 10th, give us a call and we'll figure out what you need to do.
Where it is, and
Yeah.
people will know by that point if you think you're registered to vote but you're not,
Yeah.
you won't have the chance. So
Yeah.
sooner rather than later. I mean,
Yeah.
just find out if you're registered.
A couple
right?
other things. A couple other things to keep in mind. If you're traveling,
Okay.
the post office is not allowed to forward your mail, your election mail.
Okay.
So if you know that you're doing that, there's forms that you can fill out to have it sent to the correct address.
Okay.
That's a pretty important thing to know.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. And the election day obviously is the first Tuesday in April.
April 1st.
Okay. Wow.
And Town Hall will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You should understand, too, it has to be in our hands on that day. Just being postage stamped on that day doesn't mean that we've received it. So
Okay.
bring it to Town Hall if you're not mailing it early.
Right. If you are the day before or even the day before,
Yeah.
the Friday before, I would say don't take your chances and make sure that you get in
Yeah.
there and just hand it off to Town Hall.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Deborah, always good to see you. Anything else that people need to know?
No, I think those
They
are
can
the important parts.
Always call you for
Yep.
questions.
Yep.
And certainly the
Yeah.
county as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
970-668-9122 is my line.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Giving out the number.
Well, you know.
I know. Got to do it.
Yeah.
Well, good. That sounds great. We encourage everybody, if you decide not to be a candidate, that's fine. It is a great responsibility, but a big responsibility.
Yeah.
Make sure that you have the time for it, but make sure you register to vote. And certainly when election day comes around, make sure you actually put that ballot in.
Yes, please.
All right, Deborah, we're going to take a quick break. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming on. Love it.
It was awesome.
And as always, if people have questions, you can stop into Town Hall. You can call Deborah. She's so great about answering any and all questions and probably more. We'll be right back here on SCTV 10. You're watching Focus on Frisco. Hi there and welcome back to Focus on Frisco. You're still tuned in to SCTV 10 and we're so happy that you decided to join us today. I have a new guest for me, Loli Raspini. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Thank you. You are the town's HR manager.
I am. I have been with the town for 3 years and a half almost, and
right.
It has been great.
That's wonderful. And we were just talking off camera that you've been in the community for 11 years.
Exactly.
The fabulous accent comes from Argentina.
It does. It does. I love it here. You know, I'm from the big city, but this is wonderful.
But you like this?
Yes.
Probably a big change even after this many years.
It is.
Yeah. Well, we're happy to have you, and a really cool topic that we get to talk with you about today, and that's volunteering.
It is. It's a great opportunity that we have. We launched a official volunteer program last November, and it has been wonderful. We have been having so far 22 volunteers, and we created a roster, and we can be talking with the volunteers on a constant basis, you know, communicating with them the opportunities.
Absolutely. So, I mean, there's always, in the town of Frisco, there's always been a volunteer program. We've seen them for so many years, and they're fabulous, and they just really make the events what they are. But when you say you launched a program, what does that mean? Was that just making it a little bit more cohesive, a little bit more together?
It is, correct. It helps the managers, you know who to contact when they need people.
Okay.
We also can communicate with them, you know, officially through email and send, you know, mass communication to them and say like, we are having this great opportunity that is coming up.
Great.
Would you like to volunteer? Please let us know.
Okay.
So that's another one of the aspects.
So when people are filling out the applications, they can come to Town Hall. Can they get an application online, or is it okay?
They can complete everything online if they want. You know.
And does it give? Is one of the questions. So these are the types of things that I like to volunteer for.
Correct.
Oh,
correct.
Neat.
They
so
can,
narrow it
it
down.
is. So they can. Volunteer at the information center. They can volunteer for events. They can volunteer at the adventure park. They can volunteer, you know, at the marina when it's open and it's busy. Definitely greeting and giving directions to people. Yeah. As well as for any of the races that we have, that, you know, our recreation program puts together.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, the mountain climb, royal, like. Let's see what else. Bacon burner. You know,
exactly. Run the Rockies.
Things like that.
Which is a big one.
Yeah. 4th of July, you know, parade for events. That's a huge one. We can always, you know, use some, you know, help.
Well, it's so funny in a town our size, and it's not a big town.
It is, correct.
We have so many opportunities for volunteers, and it's really fun because the different departments do such a great job of making all these really cool events that bring people into town and keep our residents in town and all of the above, but nothing happens without the work and really hard work of the volunteers.
It does.
And I like how you're being able to kind of narrow it down so people maybe who aren't interested in doing volunteering for a snowshoe race can do some of the tents at the different summertime races or events and things like that. So let's walk through a little bit of what the application is asking. Name, address, all of the above.
So name, address.
And you don't have to live in the town of Frisco to be a volunteer in the town.
Correct. You can just be, you know, visiting for us, or just, you know, you're a second homeowner and you just come and spend, you know, some weekends here or the summers. We are very excited to have this opportunity. People can meet other people. You can learn a lot about the government, the behind the scenes. It's great. It's an amazing opportunity. People really have been enjoying it.
Absolutely.
As well as, you know, personal satisfaction, right? When you're doing something good, something great for the community, it's an awesome satisfaction.
You know, they're doing more and more studies on that, as a matter of fact, about how well and how much it contributes to the extent of your life.
Yeah.
As well as how well you treat other people when you are giving back to the community or in some capacity, and it's fascinating. And we commend all of the volunteers who spend their time doing it. Now, the people who have been volunteering for 20 years, did you send them an email and say, hey, just fill this out? Because there's a background check.
There is a background check. You know, we want to ensure like everybody is safe around the people, right? I think like that is, you know,
pretty
huge,
important.
Very important, definitely. So that's one of, you know, another of the reasons why we want to do this, to communicate. So going back to your questions, some people have been communicating with us, and yes, we, you know, launched some information on our website and press releases. So some people has been communicating with us. the one important matter that I want to talk about is the barbecue challenge.
Okay.
So as we were talking earlier, the amigos, Judy and Rick, do an amazing job for us. They do an amazing... Unbelievable. Mm-hmm. All the organization that they do for the event is wonderful. So that, if you have been volunteering for the barbecue challenge, please, don't worry about these unless you want to help us with other events.
Right. But if you have been a barbecue specific volunteer, just make sure that you know that the amigos are still taking care of all of that. So they'll be in contact and all that kind of stuff. Certainly feel free to call the town and ask questions.
Of course.
But the amigos are still really holding on to that.
They are, and that's
doing a phenomenal job.
A phenomenal
yes.
job. So that's also what we definitely want to touch base with. But the rest, great opportunities. Get involved in the community. Town cleanup is coming up.
Right.
So that's a great one. The egg hunt, definitely.
Right.
You can come and help with the little ones, and hide some of all the eggs. Come and stock the eggs.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity, as I said, to meet other people, to get involved.
And that was one of the things that we were talking about as well. If you're just maybe new to the community and trying to find a way to get involved, to meet a couple new people, learn more about it, this is such a great opportunity. Maybe you work in a different community. Maybe you work at one of the ski resorts or something like that. This is a way to get involved in Frisco, learn more, and meet some people that live in your neighborhood that maybe you don't always do in the winter when the snowdrifts are 15 feet high. And it's really, it is a lot of fun. And it just, as we move into the spring and things start to thaw out and the cleanup day comes along,
exactly.
and you start to volunteer for things like that. I was at the adventure park the other day and I was amazed because there was a volunteer at the door. Hi, have you been here before? And, we've done it a million times, but it was so nice to see a friendly face. And I thought to myself, what a great way for people just coming into town to understand that we're really great here.
It is. Definitely that's, it has been a great help, with the amount of people that we received every winter at the Adventure Park. It has been amazing. It has been a very successful year so far. Yeah. And we are very grateful. We are very appreciative, and, we are expecting to grow this program even more, and then start doing a little bit more of, recognition also to these volunteers, something, yearly, once a year, twice a year, to get everybody together. So we're very excited.
I think that's fantastic.
Yes.
So if you're interested in volunteering, you can either go to the town website, townoffrisco.com, or is it friscodove.com?
Townoffrisco.com. It will take you there, and then you can click on it on the volunteers. You can read more about it. You can complete the whole application, submit it. Then we get it. And Erin, my assistant, will be in touch, definitely. We're very excited for this opportunity.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And on the same type of website, I guess, if the town of Frisco is ever posting any paid and full-time and part-time seasonal positions, they can always look there for that as well.
Yes, they can always, definitely look into our website. We are definitely already talking about summer, summer opportunities, so we are gathering all the information.
It comes fast.
It does come fast.
Yeah.
And one more thing, we also put all our information on volunteermatch.com. It's a big volunteer program. So this is also, an opportunity. If you're going somewhere else and you're interested in volunteering another place, you can go to that website. It's a nationwide website with a lot of opportunities. So we're excited.
Here's a question on that. If you have gone through the background check and done everything with the town of Frisco and you go on to Volunteer Match, are you clear and they can?
No.
Okay,
no.
You might have to fill out another application.
Yeah, Volunteer Match, definitely is like each entity.
But still gives you an idea of what opportunities are out there.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a great opportunity.
All right. Awesome. Well, Loli, it was so great to meet you.
Definitely.
Thank you for taking some time to come over here. I know you're busy over there.
It's all great.
Loli Raspini, the HR manager for the town of Frisco. Thank you again.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. For more information on volunteering, it really impacts your life and so many other people's lives. Get out there and do it, even if it's just once a year. It's such a neat way to be part of the community and give back to the community. You're watching Focus on Frisco here on SCTV 10. We're going to take another quick break, so stay with us. Thanks for staying with us right here on Focus on Frisco. You're watching SCTV 10. And I have Vanessa Agee here joining me. Nice to see you. You are the new marketing director for the town of Frisco.
Yes, it's
How
been 2
fun
months.
is that? I know. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess new is kind of relative because
it feels new.
You started at the big push for the winter, so that's great.
It is really great.
Welcome.
Thank you.
What made you decide to come over to the town?
Frisco is a great town.
It is.
It's not really a difficult leap.
Great.
There's nothing broken there.
Right.
It's a wonderful town with wonderful character.
Great.
I've lived here for a little while in Summit County for about 19 years now.
Right.
And I've worked during my whole tenure in the county. I've worked in Breckenridge for the past 10 years for the town of Breckenridge at the Riverwalk Center, planning larger events like snow sculpture.
Yeah.
So it was a big change not to have that this year. And it felt like a natural evolution to move on to a position that was more strategic. And, and it felt so good to move to a town that I already really love and that I shop in and I dine in. So for me, the shopping part, I'm definitely been an economic booster for
Good
Frisco.
Job. We love that.
And still am.
Right. Excellent. And even easier now that you're working in here every day.
Oh, it's perfect. I can just walk down Main Street to my favorite shoe store,
beautiful
toy store, home goods store, clothing store.
And it really is, and it's fun to hear a marketing director talk about all of those things, because this is, not only do we have amazing events that come in every year, and you guys do, I say it, and it's probably sounding like a broken record, but you guys are so proactive. And it gets better every year with new and innovative and fun things. And as business owners on Main Street, we hear it from our guests. It's so cool. We didn't think we were going to stop in Frisco, and we did, and we stayed. And we decided, we do this, but we stay in Frisco. And then we shop, and then we eat, and here we are. And it's just got to be so great to be coming into a town where more and more people are getting it.
It is. It's really gratifying to be in a place where I feel like the coworkers I have, the people I work with, really get that we're there to serve the community, and that we're serving a community that we're really passionate about. So cool. People really that work there really love that place. It feels very not governmental that way in a lot of ways. I have a real passion for that community. And I see it across all departments, but especially in events and marketing. And part of what I do is the information center. We have great staff there. Then also special events, and then also the larger marketing picture. Right. And like I said, nothing was broken. It's just a great community, and it's really wonderful to get the word out about it. It's blessed with such beautiful natural beauty. When you're a beautiful natural beauty, exceptional beauty. And I love being there and walking down Main Street. You're on your way back and you're looking at Mount Royal, you're in the other direction and you're looking at Buffalo Mountain. And then on top of it, great dining, great shopping. It's a pretty easy place to market in a lot of ways. It really is. And making people understand how wonderful it is pretty fun. Yes. I went to Spontaneous Combustion. Right. And it was the first time I've been at that event because I'm usually busy with other events during that time of year when I worked for Breckenridge. Yeah. And my husband's comment, and mine as well, is it felt like a really grassroots, wonderful, authentic Western town which welcomed visitors but had lots of locals at an event. So it's delightful.
And it really is. It's you just get that overwhelming feeling of community.
You do?
Even
as a visitor, wouldn't you say?
No, I would. I would. And it's just so cool. And that's good. And it's fun to see more and more people, again, coming in and loving it as much as we do. Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mean I'm not going to shake it up a little bit.
Right. So that was my next question.
Yes.
What do you think your biggest challenges? When you look at the grand picture and what's been done and what's worked and what hasn't, what's on your horizon?
A lot of our marketing has been focused on event and asset specific. When I say event, barbecue is an example, asset, marina, or the Frisco Adventure Park. Right. I think the bigger challenge is to tell the story of Frisco in a more global way, in a more holistic way. Why would you want to come to Frisco and stay there or dine there? And then while you're there, enjoy an event, go to an asset like the marina and the Frisco Adventure Park. And I hesitate to use the word branding. People think logos right away. Right. It's not about logos. It's really about capturing the essence of a place and telling that story in a really succinct way to people, and not just using assets and events to do that. I think that's a good avenue, but it shouldn't be the only thing that's happening. So that's really the thing that I've been working on at this point, is how do we get a great ad in the official Colorado vacation guide that tells our story.
Yeah. And I even think, because I'm an avid reader of Sunset.
Oh, I love Sunset.
I know, right?
Yes.
And it was just, every time I flip through it, I think, this is Frisco, because this is where people who would love Frisco, maybe who've never been, would go, whoa, that's the kind of place we're going to go. We're going to take that trip. And I see your point, and I think those are all great avenues.
And Sunset Magazine does a good job of doing that. And the last time we were in Sunset was 2005.
I thought it was either 4 or 5.
And so one of the other things that I'm working on is we have somebody who helps us with PR. Cool. They have great relationships. That's usually the way you do it. They have great relationships with media.
You don't just call them and say.
It's hard to just call Sunset Magazine cold. These folks have relationships with them, and so my challenge to them has been to get us, to bigger stories and larger national publications. And one of the ones is Sunset Magazine that we're aiming at, because we are perfectly made for that magazine. And
there's no
Traveler,
doubt about it.
National Geographic Traveler, a number of other publications that we're kind of perfect for. We're for travelers, really. Yeah. We're not really for tourists. We're for travelers and people that really want to experience a quintessential Western mountain
And that's
town.
an interesting take on it, because you don't hear that very often recently. That it's not all, and certainly we welcome the tourists and love, but you're right, these are travelers.
The people I meet that are traveling to Frisco are doing some pretty interesting, funky things. I just was at the Frisco Adventure Park, and there was a woman in her late 50s who was introducing her boyfriend to skiing at the Frisco Adventure Park, and those people are travelers. They're not just dialing it in.
Exactly.
They're having real, wonderful, authentic experiences on their vacation, and those are the people that we want to have coming to us. And
can you imagine how excited they're going to be when they go back and tell their friends?
Oh, absolutely.
This beautiful peninsula with a beginner ski hill that takes 2 seconds to get to.
Incredible.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Wow, it's really fun to hear your visions. This is exciting. This is really exciting.
Well, I want it to align with the vision that people in the town of Frisco, business owners and residents have as well.
Absolutely.
So, I'll be reaching out to a lot of people and having conversations.
You bet.
I'm not going to brand us as, I don't know, Gucci,
right?
The luxury destination. I'm really going to be listening to the people around me to make sure that the vision aligns with theirs as well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I took some pictures when all the big snow came. And as I looked at the pictures, I thought, these are beautiful, but it doesn't even do it justice. And it's got to be an interesting take on it. We have so many amazing photographers that do it justice, i.e. the pictures behind us. But it's amazing, because there's so much here in the town. And I'm so passionate about Frisco. I've lived here for, I can't even count the number of years anymore. And it's so fun to be passionate about a place that is so amazing. And
it's great to live and work in a place like that.
It is.
We don't all get that, do we?
I know. Yeah. Oh, Vanessa, it's great. It was wonderful to talk to you today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for
having me. People, come by, introduce yourselves.
Please do.
I know that you're out and about, and as you stated, you're going to be having some meetings and some talks and things like that with people about the vision of Frisco. But
I definitely have an open door policy. I'm the second floor town hall. It's Vanessa A at townoffrisco.com.
Great.
I definitely welcome meeting with people and hearing what their ideas are.
Fantastic. Well, it's nice to see you again. We were laughing because it's been quite a few years since you and I have seen each other, but it's nice to be reconnected and really happy that you're in the town.
Thank you so much.
Very good. Vanessa, AG.
No worries.
I'm working on it.
It took me a while when I got married to say it right.
Right. All right, Vanessa, thank you so much. I appreciate you having here. On behalf of the town of Frisco and everybody that worked so hard to make it happen, we really appreciate you not only tuning in, but being a part of our community, and we look forward to seeing you again. For the town of Frisco, I'm Shannon Fallon on Focus on Frisco, and we'll see you again soon.